Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Optimus Primal. Now, I had no real intent of picking this figure up until I saw him on a local site here in Japan, decided to get him, and he just arrived yesterday. And actually, I've never owned an Optimus Primal figure, so I'm actually very excited to get him open, see what he's all about. But first and foremost, let's take a look at the packaging. As always, you have some beautiful detail on this artwork down here. You see Optimus Primal in his ape mode. Some very nice attention to detail with the fur and the expression on his face. And this image does wrap around to show him in his robot mode. Very, very cool. You see the arc there at the top of the volcano. And he is a Voyager class. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the packaging. You have your Kingdom image there. And on the back, you have your product shot. There he is in his robot mode, wielding those two swords. Very, very cool. And he does convert in 22 steps in his ape mode. So I can't wait to get this guy open and see what he's all about. So without further ado, let's do just that. Okay, so here we have Optimus Primal out of the packaging. And let's take a look at the detail on this guy. And this guy is actually highly detailed. Just taking a look at that head sculpt alone. Wow, I'm very impressed. I don't know much about Optimus Primal head sculpts, but I have to say this is probably knocking it out of the park. It is for me anyways. But taking a look, you get some really nice silver paint on either side. Again, you see that silver paint on the top of the head. You get some nice deep red paint for the eyes and that almost light bluish gray paint for the mouth plate there. And going down the figure, a lot of nice detail on the chest here. Again, you get that sort of metallic blue paint with the darker blue outline, a little bit of red detail and silver accents on the chest. Very nice. Going down to the waist, again, some beautiful sculpted work here with some highlights of that sort of darkish blue metallic paint there. Very, very nice. Again, on the upper thighs, you get some of that same off-white color there with the red. Very nice sculpted detail, and a little bit more on the bottom feet with the red and the blue as well. Now going to the arms, you do have on the side of the arms some more sculpted detail here with the same red paint and that sort of off-white bluish light paint there. And overall, just really, really nice detail. Taking a look at the back is not much. It's basically just the ape mode. But as far as that, taking a look at the detail in the fur, really amazing how they got this fur to look like that. Really nice attention to detail there. So anyways, so really, with his blasters on the side there, really, really cool. I'm really impressed actually so far. Again, I've never really handled an Optimus Primal figure, so if this is my first one, then it's made me a fan for sure. So getting into articulation, you do have some side blasters here, which are on little hinges here, so you can kind of pivot them up or down, whichever you like. They actually look cool like up like that. It gives it a very nice symmetrical look. But actually, I think I prefer them down. So those can hinge up and down. And let's actually just get those out of the way so we can get into the head articulation here. It is on a ball joint. Can look up and down. You don't get really much side to side, but it can move 360 degrees. So that is very cool. It gets some nice expressive poses there. Now his shoulders are on a full 360. It does have the shoulder swivel up top, and he does have a upper bicep swivel. Now the joints on this guy are really tight, so he does have a over 90 degrees at the elbow, but again, very, very tight on my figure. So just taking the arms out to the side here, putting those out of the way, and he does have a full 360 at the waist, which is very nice. Get some nice articulation there. Again, this is really tight. This is on a ball joint, but it's really, really tight on my figure. It's very difficult to pose. So you do get a little bit of articulation there. You do get a little over 90-degree bend at the knee. And there is this piece here, which is, you can swivel a little bit, but I'm not really sure. That's maybe part of transformation. And you do get some little bit of pivot on the feet, but it is hindered by this piece here. And you do get a little bit of the ankle rocker joint, but not a whole lot. So a little bit limited articulation, a little bit limited posability, but nothing too bad. So just a quick comparison. Now this is a Voyager class. I'm going to bring in Kingdom Cyclonus, and actually Cyclonus just towers over Optimus Primal. So I'm not sure where they're getting the Voyager class scale with this guy. I think he should have been a lot bigger. I mean, at least the size of Cyclonus, and I'm sure he looks like a a puny little ape compared to Megatron. So I'm not sure where they got the Voyager size class for this guy, but he seems a little bit small for his size class. Anyways, taking away Cyclonus there. And taking a look at some accessories that he comes with. He does come with his double swords, so we'll bring those in here. And very, very cool. Really like the way these look. I love the shape of them as well, the sort of swoosh. And you get some nice silver paint on the tip here with some nice molded detail, some angle sections there, and some nice cool detail on the handle as well. So they are exactly the same. And you can open up his arms, his hands. There's a little pin there, so his fingers are articulated. And actually these are very, very tight. So there is a space for the 5mm pegs. So you can just put that in there. And there, again, on mine, they're very, very tight. And you can just close the fingers up like that. And we'll put this in this hand. And again, very, very tight. So you can just take that and put his accessories, his swords there. So very, very cool. He can hold those very easily. And he is ready for action. And one more thing we can do is take those out. Maybe just take one out. And we're going to take the head from Paleotrex and use it as the mace for Optimus Primal. So this is his mace weapon here. So you can take basically, again, that's very, very tight. So you can take Paleotrex's head there and use it as the mace for Optimus Primal. So very, very cool. Lovely integration between the Paleotrex figure and this figure. So very, very cool. Also, one more thing. So let's take this out. Take the mace out of there. Take his other weapon out. And one sort of little cool hidden feature here is on his forearms. There are little places right here, if you can see. Now there are little indentations, so you can grab either side and actually pull. See if we can do this here. I'm sorry, I was wrong. There's actually a place on the bottom. I thought there was little indentations on the side that you could just pull these up. But there's actually a square piece on the underside of the arm that you push up, and then that allows for his arm blasters to come out. So very, very cool. So let's do that again on this side. There's a piece underneath that you just kind of push in, and it allows this piece to come up. And they don't come out all the way. They come out about that much. So let's just orientate his arms here. And he has very, very cool arm blasters there. So that is another sort of surprise element with this figure. Very, very cool. They do come up, and he has these sort of surprise blasters coming out of his forearms. And I really love that. And I probably, I don't have any blast effects on me now, but you could probably fit some blast effects on there and make a really cool look for that. So anyways, that is Optimus Primal in his robot mode. Let's get him transformed into his ape mode. Okay, so here we have Optimus Primal transformed into more of his natural sort of ape mode. There is another sort of upright position you can put him in, which I will show you in a sec. But first and foremost, let's take a look at how that looks. It looks pretty cool. I much prefer the robot mode, but yeah, the attention to detail as far as the ape mode, the head sculpt is really, really detailed, and can't really tell if the eyes are painted. I think they're painted black. It's a little difficult to tell. Almost looks like a darker color of a red, but I'm pretty sure it's black. Anyways, really nice attention to detail on the head sculpt. And again, that fur, the way the fur came out is just really nice. You see the chest here with some muscle detail there. And going down, you pretty much saw what these were like in robot mode. And on the back, that hides everything pretty much. You do see a little bit of the robot kibble, robot legs under here. And you do see that back there. But overall, it's not bad. It's definitely not my favorite mode. But if you get them in a certain angle, like around here, maybe like that angle or head-on angle, you don't really see that so much. But once you kind of turn around, you do see a little bit of that robot mode coming through. Now, as far as articulation in this mode, you have actually pretty good as far as the what they did with the head here. So the head can look up and down, and it does even have a little bit of side-to-side movement. So you can get some some nice expression from his head there. It can look up as well. So you get a lot of range of motion in the head there. And again, same as the robot mode, the arms go out that far. As soon as you sort of turn the arms around, again, you see that robot kibble there coming through. So I kind of want to keep it just hidden as much as I can to make it look really like the ape mode and not the robot mode. So trying to hide that as much. Again, there's not a lot of articulation here on the legs because of the way this is. So this is more the natural ape mode here. And bringing in some comparisons. So here we'll have Cheetor and Rat Trap. So this is how they scale. And again, Optimus Primal being a Voyager class, I mean, the Deluxe class Cheetor is almost, it seems like he's definitely a little bit longer, but there's definitely more mass to this figure, which I'm sure warrants the Voyager class name, but just seems like he should be a little bit bigger. So anyways, let's pause for a sec and get Optimus Primal in his more upright position. All right, so here you have Optimus Primal in his more upright position, and it's maybe a little bit easier to show the points of articulation in this mode rather than the natural ape mode. But again, his head can go up and down, and it can turn side to side a little bit. And again, much like the robot mode, you have this very similar articulation. His arms and shoulders go out like that. His a elbow swivel there and an elbow bend. That's a little more than 90, and his hands can rotate here and open and close. So yeah, it's very, very similar as far as the robot mode and the ape mode. Now this part does cover the waist, so there's waist articulation, but it's a little bit hindered by this piece and actually the back piece too. And from the back, yeah, you can kind of see a lot of the robot kibble, but from what I gathered from past Optimus Primal figures, that's kind of just the way it is with these guys. Also, there is a bit of a exposed sort of joints here in the front, and you don't really get any knee articulations because of the transformation. But there are a little bit of articulation in the front of the toes. And again, really nice detail on the feet here. You can see the toenails and things painted in, molded in with the gray plastic there. So yeah, really, really nice attention to detail. Unfortunately, you do see a little bit of the this does hide a lot of it, but yeah, you do see some of the robot kibble on the back. But overall, not too bad at all. And one thing I did fail to mention in the robot mode, there is weapon storage, and it's no different in the beast mode, but there are little notches here, and there are pegs on either side of the swords, so you can easily store them here. I'll just show you in ape mode, beast mode, whatever you want to call it. So those just plug in there. Easier said than done. Again, these are a little bit fiddly. I have put them in, and just be careful. If you're gonna keep the weapons there like that, then they do fall off quite easily. So again, just bringing in Cheetor and Rat Trap again for another comparison. And in his upright position, he does obviously he looks a lot bigger than those two. But again, in his sort of ape position, his beast position, beast mode, he does look a little bit small. So I think they scale pretty nicely, but I do think being a Voyager class, he probably should have been a little bit bigger. But anyways, he is a cool figure, and I'm actually very happy I picked him up. I do prefer the robot mode, but the beast mode is not bad. I don't think there's a lot you can really do with these type of figures where you have to hide so much of the robot mode with the beast parts. So I think they did a great job, and the attention to detail with the fur and the head sculpt and all that, I think they did a really nice job. So anyways, this has been Matt in Japan for Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Optimus Primal from the Kingdom line. Very, very cool, and I'm happy to have him in my collection. And we'll just leave you with Optimus Primal and Cheetor and Rat Trap. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.